Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every life when the pain feels louder than the promise. You don't plan for it. You just wake up one day and it hits you like a storm that doesn't knock before it enters. The loss, the betrayal, the disappointment, it settles deep, like a weight chained to your chest. And it's in that moment where most people make a dangerous mistake. They start to believe that their pain is a place. That because they're hurting, they must be broken. That because they've failed, they must be finished. But I came to tell you today, pain is not your prison, it is your passage. You see, life never promised us comfort. It promised us growth. And growth doesn't happen on the mountaintop. It happens in the valley. It happens in the silence of defeat when no one is watching and everything in you wants to give up. But if you can understand that what you're going through is not designed to destroy you, but to develop you, you'll stop trying to escape the pain and start learning from it. The truth is, there are things you will only discover about yourself in the fire. Things that cannot be revealed when everything is easy. We were never called to avoid pain. We were called to master it, to walk through it, to let it mold us, not define us. Just like gold is refined by fire, your potential is awakened by pressure. And sometimes the deeper the pain, the greater the purpose it's trying to unlock. But it's only revealed to those who refuse to let pain keep them stuck. The difference between those who rise and those who remain is not the absence of pain. It's how they perceive it. Some see it as the end, but the wise see it as the beginning of something deeper, something stronger. When you stop seeing your defeat as a death sentence and start seeing it as divine instruction, everything changes. You begin to rise, not because the pain stopped, but because you decided not to stop in the pain. That's the moment when purpose is born. That's the moment when heaven leans in. Because pain was never sent to bury you. It was sent to build you. And I promise you this, the pain you're carrying right now is preparing the strength you didn't know you had. One of the most dangerous lies you'll ever believe is that what happened to you defines who you are. That because you failed, you are a failure. That because someone rejected you, you are unworthy. That because life hit you hard, you are no longer valuable. But hear me, your identity is not rooted in your incident. You are not the storm you survived. You are not the mistake you made. You are not the pain that was inflicted on you. What happened was real, but it's not your name. It's not your title. It's not your truth. Too many people are walking around with labels life never had the right to put on them. Broken, not enough, unqualified. And they carry those names like badges, not realizing they are wearing the opinions of pain instead of the truth of purpose. You were born with value, and no failure, no rejection, no betrayal, no setback has the authority to redefine you. Just because life changed your situation doesn't mean it changed your worth. That's where we get stuck, confusing what we went through with who we are. Yes, you may have lost some things. Yes, you may have fallen flat. But identity isn't shaped by events, it's revealed in them. When you strip away the noise, the opinions, the judgments, and the pressure, what remains is the truth that your spirit cannot be touched by external defeat unless you give it permission. That's why the fight isn't just outside, it's internal. It's a battle to protect who you know yourself to be even when life tries to say otherwise. You've got to make a decision today. I will not answer to names that don't belong to me. I will not bow to the shame of my past. I will not allow the narrative of defeat to become the language of my life. Because the power to rise isn't in changing your history. It's in reclaiming your identity. And when you remember who you are, defeat loses its grip. Circumstances shift, but the call on your life remains. You are more than the wound, more than the fall, more than the loss. You are the one who rises from it. You are not what happened to you. You are what you decide to become in spite of it. We live in a world that celebrates strength, but hides the struggle. We admire the champion on the podium, but we rarely talk about the blood beneath their bandage. And because of that, many of us think that greatness means never breaking, that if you stumble, you're weak, that if you cry, you've failed. But let me tell you something real. Champions bleed too. The strongest people you know have faced nights where they questioned everything. They've fought battles in silence, with no applause, no audience, and no backup. But what separates them is not that they never fell, it's that they kept getting up. We've been conditioned to think that pain disqualifies us, but in reality, pain is often the mark that you're on the right path. The greater the purpose, the greater the pressure. If you're bleeding, if you're hurting, if you feel like giving up, it doesn't mean you're unworthy. It means you're human, and not just human, but chosen. Because only those who are being shaped for something greater feel the crushing weight of the process. You are not weak because you feel it. You are strong because you're still here. There's honor in the fight. There's glory in the grind. What you're going through is not proof of defeat. It's evidence of your capacity. The wound may still be open, but you didn't quit. The pain may still echo, but you still showed up. And that's what champions do. They don't deny the battle, they embrace it. They don't run from their scars, they wear them as reminders that they were stronger than what tried to break them. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Your tears are sacred. Your scars are not signs of failure, they're signs that you survived. They're proof that you were tested and still standing. So don't hide your wounds. Don't pretend you haven't struggled. Let the world see that you fought through it. Because someone out there needs to know that it's okay to bleed and still believe. That it's okay to be hurt and still move forward. That it's okay to fall and still rise. The most powerful version of you isn't the one that never fell. It's the one that kept rising, even with the blood still dripping. Some people look at their lives and decide it's too late. They see the missed opportunities, the broken dreams, the failed relationships, and they fold. They convince themselves that because something didn't work out back then, nothing can change now. But let me speak directly to that lie. You are not finished yet. Your story didn't end with that disappointment. That was a chapter, not the whole book. Just because you've experienced defeat doesn't mean destiny has been canceled. If you still have breath, then purpose is still alive. You've got to stop letting the past convince you that the future has no voice. What you went through didn't take you out. It taught you. And sometimes the delay is not denial, it's preparation. You weren't being punished, you were being prepared. But the tragedy is not in failing. The tragedy is in staying down. Life may have knocked you off course, but that doesn't mean you can't adjust the sail and move again. The vision is still valid. The dream still matters. And the fire within you, though faint, is not gone. It's waiting for your decision to believe again. People might have counted you out. Circumstances may have buried you under the weight of regret. But the truth is, you're still standing. You're still breathing. You're still here. And if you're here, that means the fight's not over. It means the enemy didn't win. It means you've got another chance to rise, to rebuild, to reignite the vision that once made your heart beat fast. The comeback doesn't start when things get easier. It starts when you decide you're not done. It starts when you stand in the rubble of what was and dare to believe in what can be. Your future doesn't need perfect conditions. It needs a determined heart. It needs someone willing to move forward in faith, even if fear still whispers in the background. Don't let time make you timid. Don't let failure make you forfeit. You still have what it takes. You still carry the seeds of greatness. But seeds don't grow until they're planted again. It's not over until you say it is. And you haven't even seen your best chapter yet. You can't change your life until you change your mind. You can't step into victory while thinking like a victim. You can't rise on the outside if you're still crumbling on the inside. The truth is, the battle isn't just in your situation. It's in your thoughts. And until your mind rises, nothing else can. You can be talented. You can be anointed. You can be surrounded by opportunity. But if your thinking is poisoned by fear, by doubt, by shame, you'll sabotage every breakthrough meant for you. That's how powerful your mindset is. It will either build the bridge to your future or reinforce the chains of your past. You weren't created to stay in survival mode. You weren't designed to rehearse defeat, replay rejection, or relive every moment you fell short. But the longer you let that cycle run in your head, the more it becomes your reality. Your thoughts shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your behavior. So if you believe you're broken, you'll live beneath your purpose. If you believe you're not worthy, you'll settle for less than what's already yours. But when you shift your thinking, everything around you begins to shift too. That's why you can't afford to feed your mind with fear. You can't afford to give space to the voice that says you'll never make it. You've got to fight for your mind. You've got to protect your atmosphere. You've got to speak life when everything around you looks dead, because you don't get what you want. You get what you believe. You've got to start seeing yourself as someone who's not defined by what happened, but driven by what's ahead. When the mind rises, the man follows. And once you take ownership of your thoughts, you take back your power. You stop reacting to life and start leading it. You stop waiting for the right moment and realize you are the right moment. Every chain that held you before was rooted in a thought you never challenged. But today you shift. Today you break that cycle. Today you rise, not because the world changed, but because you did. Your mindset is the doorway. Step through it, and the life you were born to live will finally meet you on the other side. Sometimes the worst moments in your life are the exact setup for the best breakthrough you've ever experienced. But it doesn't feel that way when you're in it. When everything's falling apart, when people walk away, when the doors slam shut and the lights go out, you feel abandoned, rejected, forgotten. But what if I told you that your setback is not an accident? What if I told you it's not punishment, it's positioning? Life doesn't always promote you in public. Sometimes it strips you in secret to prepare you for a stage your character hasn't yet caught up to. What you lost wasn't random. What broke you wasn't wasted. Even the betrayal, even the delay, even the tears, none of it happened without purpose. But purpose doesn't announce itself in comfort. It reveals itself in pressure. It's in the pain that your focus sharpens. It's in the silence that your faith deepens. You don't grow when everything's easy. You grow when you're pushed to the edge and refuse to let go, because you start to realize that the thing you thought was setting you back was actually pushing you towards something greater. You have to stop looking at your struggle like it's the end. It's not the end. It's the beginning of a shift. The enemy thought it would destroy you, but God is using it to develop you. The delay was training. The rejection was redirection. The closed door was divine protection. You thought you were losing, but you were being aligned. And sometimes alignment feels like pain before it looks like purpose. You weren't buried, you were planted. And when you're planted, everything around you goes dark for a while. But that darkness isn't death. It's development. Something is happening in you that can't be seen yet. Roots are going deeper. Character is being built. Strength is rising. You are not behind. You're being prepared for impact. So when the moment comes, you don't just show up. You stand up with the weight of every battle you've won in secret. Every setback in your life has been setting the stage for your comeback. And when you rise this time, you won't rise the same.